I was born by the river in a little tent, and just like that river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it will.
Mr. Patton, haven't you heard? We're gonna change the lyrics, okay?
Oh, okay.
Instead of a change is gonna come, we're gonna say a change is happening right now.
Change is happening now. I think the message that's going out to the community is that this is a school that's focused on academics. Our entertainment theme gets us a lot of attention citywide, and it should. We've got some excellent things being produced in our building, from videos to audio. Our record label and our marketing and everything that's going on here is really taking off. But I think one of the messages our community needs to hear from us is that academics really matter.
How significant are the new gangs and the ACT scores at Pearl-Cohn?
They're very significant because these are goals that we've set for 2 years now, and this is the first year that we've met our goal. Matter of fact, we exceeded it, so very significant. It tells us that the plan that we've laid out, it's working.
Oh, they're huge. This time last year, we had, I think, 3 or 4 students total that had a 21 or above. That's it. Currently, right now, we have 13 juniors and seniors with a 21 or higher.
Yes, people have said we can't. No, we can't. We can't do this. We can't do that. Well, we've proved that we can.
We talk inside about how ACT scores, that number is the hardest data to move in a school. So we think about EOCs, we think about final exams, grade point averages, all of those things, even graduation rates, are easier to change in a school than that ACT score. And the reason is because the ACT shows college readiness. This is not a state level standard, this is a national standard that says kids are ready for college.
The question is, what specifically do you attribute for the enormous increase in the ACT scores by Pearl-Cohn?
One of the big things, there's several things, but one of the big things I can attribute to the increase in our scores for our students. One is our students and their tenacious act in preparing for the ACT.
The coaches were really great in helping the students, you know, participate after school, rearranging practices and whatever.
I think one, we've really established a culture, bell to bell, from 7:05 to 2:05, focused on academic learning. I think our teachers understand that as a value and our students understand that as a value. We've also added ACT word of the day and some different curricular additives into every single class that kids are taking, so I think they see an increased emphasis on the ACT. Both last year and this year, we've increased critical thinking classes, which are entirely ACT prep. So all juniors are taking some ACT prep classes during the school day. And then we have some partner organizations that work with us. We have Appleton Tutoring and InfoMotion. InfoMotion has come after school for different types of intensives and during intersession and on Saturdays. And then Appleton has really helped to embed into our classes. They're co-teaching with us and providing some small level after-school tutoring. So I think it's really the whole portfolio of services that really have added to this increase in scores.
Explain a little bit about the turnout rates for the students taking the test.
I was floored. I was so outdone when all of our students came, because we thought, you know, they don't have to be here. They're in bed sleeping. Who's gonna get up at 7 o'clock to come to school, and you didn't have to be at school? So I mean, in my mind, I was very, I was optimistic that they were gonna come, but at the same time, I'm like, really? Are they really gonna come? And sure enough, blew me out the water, because they all showed up, and they showed out, as you can see with our scores.
Impressive. Impressive. We were concerned that because the juniors were the only ones who had to come to school that day, that they weren't going to come. Great numbers. Impressive. Many more were here than not.
We were floored that day because we had over 80% of those juniors get up on a day they didn't have to and come and take the ACT, and they were serious about it, and it showed in our scores because our scores went up. What I noticed and what my comment was that day after everything kind of settled down and everybody got in class this is a sign of culture shift.
So on the day of the test, we had 143 out of 170 kids show up on a day that there was no school. That's 84% of the kids. That right there displays the fact that kids are committed to this college readiness standard. So our overall ACT score increased by more than half a point, 0.6 of a point increase in a single year. That's phenomenal, very difficult to do. We have 4 times the number of kids graduating from Pearl-Cohn College Ready as a result of this year's ACT. That's enormous. 4 times the number of kids that the national standard is saying are adequately prepared for college is huge. I'm really proud of that. And we have an additional cohort of kids who are just below that benchmark that I believe before they graduate in 2015 will have met that benchmark. So this is a huge significance for us, and I think it really displays the shift in our culture towards not just kids going to college, but kids going to college ready for college.
Sounds good.